Bet Sports.
What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday to everybody. First of 4 shows for me today, Papa Dude. You get me fresh, though. That's the good news.
Yeah, that's right.
Going to be fun. This is going to be a good show. We're going to talk Arkansas Derby first, then we'll do Final Four. So a lot going on. How you been? Like, what's new with you? What's up?
Well, there's nothing new with me. That's kind of the issue, I can't tell one day from the other. They're all the same. So anyway,
Yeah.
I did break down and have a weak moment and substituted on Tuesday.
Ooh.
That wasn't much fun. I realized why I don't do it very much anymore. So, yeah. They're not getting any easier. Let's put it that.
I would imagine they're getting harder. I would not. No,
it wasn't much fun. Let's put it down. The morning was, well, first of all, it was the first day back after spring break.
Ooh.
That's not a good day.
No.
But in the morning, it was pretty easy. So I assumed they were all sleepy in the morning. But once they went to lunch and came back, they had awakened fully, and it was not good.
Ugh.
And they were 6th and 7th graders, and they're the worst. So
are they? Well, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And they were preparing for the standardized tests that you have to take,
Gotcha.
which they hate.
Yeah.
And it was reading, which they won't do. So you have to do it with them to get them to do it. And they weren't interested in the passage we were reading. So
I would say that sounds absolutely dreadful, what you're saying. Like
it wasn't any fun. I have to try to make stuff up, and they don't think it's funny. So anyway,
I can't imagine. I'll just say, if you're a teacher out there listening, just hats off. Like I always thought teaching is difficult, right? I mean, it always, that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like this era of teaching is, I can't even imagine doing it. Let's just put it that way.
There are so many things going on.
I can't imagine what, I don't know. I would pull my hair
and
out.
Again, there are some the majority are great kids.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They do.
To be clear, it isn't about the kids as much.
No.
I feel like,
they do exactly what you ask them to do.
Yeah.
They're kind of embarrassed by the actions of some of the others.
Yeah.
And they get sick of it as well.
Yeah.
But there's more of the others than there used to be.
Well,
That's the deal. You always had your jackwads.
Yeah.
Your 4 or 5 that are just drive you nuts. Now there's 7 or 8.
Yep.
And they have no fear of the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can remember when I was in school, you didn't dare touch a teacher.
Right.
Well, they come up and they want to hug you. They want to pat you on the back. They want to give you high fives, all kinds of stuff like that.
That's weird.
And when I was, of course, I was in the Stone Age, but even probably when you were going to school, you walked in the classroom, you didn't say much to the teacher. You didn't.
Yeah, a little bit afraid of the teacher. Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah. The teacher was up here a little bit higher than the rest of us, and not anymore. They have no filter when it comes to a teacher. They just don't. So.
Well, I mean, it's just different.
It's different.
Even when I was a kid, from now it's different. So,
anyway.
Yep. All right. Well, we got a couple of things here. We're gonna talk Arkansas Derby first. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on the screen. I will answer a couple of questions. So when Chief Wallaby loses this week, we're not talking about the Florida Derby specifically on this show, but I'll answer it. Do you guys change your Derby pick? Well, here's the deal. Sovereignty lost the Florida Derby last year and was the winner of the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont and the Travers and the Jim Dandy. So winning isn't. It would be nice to see a win. I'll say that for sure, but it isn't the end all be all. It's not a requirement to win the Kentucky Derby. What you want to see out of whoever you might be playing in the Kentucky Derby or think about playing, what you want to see this last weekend is a solid effort. So if Chief Wallaby runs really, really well and gets second, maybe not. If he runs third or fourth and doesn't look very good, yes, you definitely pivot. The good news is they're going to run that race on March 28th. They run the Kentucky Derby on May 2nd this year. There's plenty of time to pivot and plenty of races left to pivot to with these last preps. So look, but it's a make or break race. It's just his third start. So,
Yeah.
Answer that one for you. You guys, okay, so magnitude, you may not even know this. The Dubai World Cup is actually happening this weekend. A lot of speculation that it may not, but because of what's going on, but they're going to run. So magnitude's running over there. Do we think he has a chance as a sloppy track? The sloppy track certainly changes things. Look, Forever Young, if he runs his best race, I don't think Magnitude can beat him. If Forever Young doesn't, I think he's in with a chance. I think that's the main kind of worry. So, but look, I'm not going to go against Forever Young in that race. So,
I know I wouldn't go over there this week. I think I would veto it.
I totally would veto it, but
I just would not feel safe.
Yeah. But look, again, like if you want to back Magnitude, I think you go into it knowing, hey, he's a good horse. He's ready to go. We know Asmussen's MO. That horse is going to, under Asmussen, getting older, that horse is going to run well. He's going to be good. And it's just a matter of can he be Forever Young? So that's a big question mark. As far as how the track, I mean, you just rarely see that track sloppy. So who knows if that's the case? I don't know how it's going.
I heard somebody was saying that area is getting really bad weather.
Yeah. And I could totally be wrong, and I'm just not remembering, but I never remember watching that card and having to worry about weather. So I have who knows how it's going to play. That's just my honest answer to you on that one. Shotty dropped in, said, "Go Hogs." I know there are many nervous Razorback fans. We've got a Razorback fan at my house that is nervous today as well. So should be fun. We'll be
talking about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that soon. All right, let's get Arkansas Derby. Race 13 on the card Saturday at Oaklawn Park. A field of 9. It will actually be a field of 8. The number 7, Napoleon Solo, is scratching from the race to run next weekend in the Wood. Field of 8. We'll do what we always do. We'll go through. You say toss or keep, and then we'll analyze the ones we've kept. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Redland Rebels.
Pass.
I passed on him as well. Yes. Silent Tactic.
Keep
for me as well. Blackout Time.
I'm going to keep him.
Okay. Keep him. Bricklin.
No.
Pass. Okay.
Yep.
Taptastic.
Interesting one here. I threw him out.
Keep. I'm going to override you. We're keeping him.
Okay.
Renegade.
I can be talked into that.
Okay. Well, I'll try to. Renegade.
Well, see, the reason why I threw him out is because you always get on to me because it's an Asmussen horse. And that's why I keep it.
I think this one has potential, though.
In this field of shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's not great.
No, it's not. So,
well, let's go. I'll ask a question on that after we get through this.
Okay.
I
kept the 6.
Okay, I kept him. Napoleon's out. Napoleon Solo out. Exelsum.
I threw that one out.
Toss for me. Litmus test.
I threw him out.
Oh man, I did. Okay, I'll keep him, but I think that's the right answer. But we'll keep him just to discuss why I think that, because he is going to be a popular horse, I think.
Well, now that Napoleon's out, maybe, we have to discuss the horse.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you.
I don't like him.
I think no, I don't either. Overall, you said, hey, this isn't that great of a race.
No, I think it's awful.
When does Oaklawn Park think maybe we should just reduce the purses back to kind of a normal range, take that money that we were going to give, make our other races maybe have more like the regular day in and day out races, because increasing these purses have not increased the field sizes.
And you would thought it would.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this year has been pathetic. Is this not the weakest Arkansas Derby you've seen?
It's not the weakest, but it's not. I was there one year when Superstock won. It was a field of 6. That was probably the worst one.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But that also was the year after COVID. And I don't know, there were some other weird things as well. This for like a regular year. I mean, and look, there might be a Derby winner here, our Kentucky Derby winner, but mostly this is a pretty weak bunch.
Well, I just see it as, okay, Baffert is down.
Yeah.
He usually has a really good horse in the Triple Crown races at Oaklawn.
Yes. Yeah.
He'll have one in the Southwest. He'll have one in the Rebel. And he has one in the Derby.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't this year. So that's eliminating a stud right there.
Right. Yeah. He hasn't for a while either.
Right. And then Asmussen's weak at this level.
He is. Yep.
So there's another
in
one.
This division specifically.
Yeah. So there's another one. He doesn't have this 3-year-old stud that he usually has.
Yeah.
That you like and you think is a contender. He doesn't have one at this point. So, and the field itself, as we were talking last week, it's a lightly raced bunch of horses that are getting ready for the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
There are somebody asked me last week, who are you looking at in the Derby? And I said, I don't see anybody that I like right now. Now that it could change this weekend. Yeah. There's a horse here in the Arkansas Derby that I think will go to the front if he wins. And then the Florida Derby. I think the Florida Derby is pretty strong.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think if we could have got one of those horses to come here, I thought the Florida Derby is strong.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So they're a lot stronger than what we had. I don't know whether Hot Springs is a tough place to fly into. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know.
It's tricky. And, Todd Pletcher invaded to win the Rebel and he's here with the favorite, but that's usually a guy that doesn't send to Oaklawn. And so, God, imagine if he wouldn't have sent horses to Oaklawn this year. It would have been really weird. Asmussen a little bit weak. Brad Cox hasn't ran his better horses here either.
That's right. He's the other one. That's right.
And so Cox and Asmussen kind of who you think of when you think of big races in Hot Springs that are quote unquote locals. I know they have horses everywhere, but they're locals. You see them, they're not there this year.
And you have to wonder why Cox is not sending his better horses up there.
Well, what's happened, I think, is Cox runs a Gulfstream now and has a big string down there in Florida. Okay. And there, he won the Florida Derby last year. He's got his best horse this year. Yeah. I think one of his best horses in the Florida Derby. So
so that I forgot about him. That's another reason there's nobody in this.
So but you do have some horses that I don't think it's awful. I don't think this race is an awful race. I just think you do expect it to be a little bit deeper. Yeah. So let's go through it. Number 2, Silent Tactic. A throwback. An absolute throwback of a horse. He is running in all 4 of the Kentucky Derby or the Arkansas Derby, Kentucky Derby preps. So I love him in the spot.
I do too.
Yeah.
I don't see that he's done anything wrong.
Yeah.
In this field. And I think if he wins, he suddenly throws himself into the top 3.
Yeah.
Going into the Kentucky Derby. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
He ran great in the Rebel.
I agree. Yeah.
He did. And I thought he was going to win.
Yeah. He certainly looked like he was going to win and maybe win fairly easy.
Yeah. And Class President was just exceptional.
Yeah. Yeah.
And came out of nowhere and beat him. But he didn't give in. He lost by a nose. And he was trying to come back and overtake a horse that passed him, and you don't see that very often.
It was interesting. How you view the Rebel is how you're going to approach Silent Tactic in the spot, because I went back and watched it many times this week, and I am choosing to believe they both ran really, really well because they were well clear of the 3rd place horse.
Yes.
There's a lot of people, their other thought process is Silent Tactic hung and allowed, Class President to get back in it. And it's all Silent Tactic's fault that Class President won.
Right.
I don't view it that way. So
I don't either. And Class President's not in this race.
That's right. Well, that's the other thing. Yeah. For sure.
I mean, we're not handicapping the whole thing. We're handicapping the Arkansas Derby.
Right.
So you're going to hold that against him? He was clearly the best other than Class President in the field.
Right. Yeah.
And Class President's not in the field.
Right.
So whatever you want to hold against him, that you throw that out the window. We're handicapping this race.
Yeah, I think, to the point of the detractors, though, it's like, boy, he kind of blew that, and he'll probably blow it again if he gets, you know what I mean? Like there'll be somebody in here that he won't be able to beat, which could be very possible.
It is. I mean, he's not super, but
no.
The way I handicap races, he's the most consistent. I don't see he's done a whole lot wrong. in this field.
I don't think he's done anything wrong. I really
Okay,
like
you put it a different way. You're more
well, look, he's finished second, first,
Yeah.
and second. I mean,
Yes.
he ran well every time. He's
Mhm.
been very, very good. Granted, I don't think he's elite. I just think he's very solid.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the number 3 blackout time. Can he rebound? The first race.
That's just it.
Yeah, the first race of the year was off a long layoff. Hadn't seen him
Right.
since October. Can he rebound? What do you think?
Well, I think that's what you got to go on.
Yeah.
He was obviously injured,
Mhm.
and they brought him back. He didn't run terrible
Mm-hmm.
for the first time back, and who knows, they might not have pushed him all that hard.
Right.
We don't know that.
He looked like a horse that definitely needed a race.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
He ran well early.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was third. And he was only a head off the pace going into the turn,
Mm-hmm.
and then he faded, which I think you got to cut him a little bit of slack
Mm-hmm.
in this. And in this field, I think he's very dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's sound, it's been a month now. Are they going to cut him loose this time? Are they confident that he's sound and ready to go?
Yeah.
Because before he got hurt, he looked like he was going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So this is a dangerous one. And I think you got to throw him in for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with him. I don't fully trust him, but I also fully concede that I think he's going to run a lot better here.
Yeah, I don't think you can fully trust him because he hasn't done it. So you have to see it.
Taptastic. Let's go him next here. Look, one race. It was a good race. It was against older horses, albeit not the best older horses, but still. It's probably a little bit too much too soon. I think he can hit the board.
He might. You know what bothers me on him?
One race?
No.
Okay.
Look who the jockey is.
Well, I think Eric's pretty good.
No, I didn't say he wasn't good.
You're saying he would have got a bigger jockey if the horse was super serious.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's what worries me. No, I'm not saying either one of his boys are bad jockeys. I'm not saying that at all. But I study Aspens and follow him more than anybody else. And normally they don't ride his good horses.
Mm-hmm.
But now this horse hasn't proven anything yet. So,
Yep.
And he may not have wanted to mess with somebody else.
Yep.
And we've seen him do this before.
Yep.
But in this field, you got to okay, there's two ways to look at it. I don't know him personally. I don't know Aspens personally, but I feel like I do. He's one of those guys that he's got to have a horse in this race.
Yeah.
He's like D-Wing.
Yeah.
He's got a stream of horses at Oaklawn, and therefore him being the trainer that he is, he's got to throw something in there.
He's been known to run some horses that weren't very good in this race. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you got to look at that aspect of it too.
Yeah.
And that worries me some. But the other thing is too, he doesn't like to get embarrassed either.
Right.
So what if this thing loses by 30 lengths? He's not going to like that either. So
I don't think that's going to happen. Look, I don't think I don't think this is a world beating horse. I really don't think he's the winner of the race, but I do think if you want to play him in the tries and supers, I would tell you to do it because he ran pretty well. He ran pretty professionally on debut.
And it was a muddy track.
I do totally agree. If they thought this was a champion type of horse, and that's really no offense to Eric. It's just more of how we follow Aspuss, and he would have Jose Ortiz aboard here.
That's what he usually does.
Yeah.
Or
somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not knocking Eric either.
I'll say this. It's controversial that with his kids and the riding and everybody likes to, bag on him. I think Eric's going to be really, really good. Yeah. I like him.
And you know what? Piss on everybody else.
Well, that too. Yeah. Keith, I think Keith is a decent jockey. The problem with Keith, and it's always going to be a problem, when you see Keith, he looks like I don't really know, like he looks like a regular person. He's big. Like for a jockey, he is big.
For a jockey. He's not going to be able to.
Usually when you see a jockey in person, you're like that guy's a jockey. They're just they're smaller people. He's not really. So that's kind of the thing. It's like, I think he's just always going to struggle with that a little bit.
Yeah, I would say when he gets older, he won't be a jockey.
And that's what happened to his dad. His dad wanted to be a jockey and couldn't.
That's right. A lot of people don't realize his dad was a jockey.
Yeah.
In the beginning, but he couldn't keep weight off. So
commenter says they're all too tall. Eric is tall, but he's not the size of Keith. Yeah. So I think Eric has a chance for sure.
I've heard Asmussen talk, and he said everybody wanted to be a jockey.
Yeah. Yes.
He said, I didn't want to be a trainer. I want to be a jockey.
Right.
And that whole family's that way.
Which is nuts, by the way. If you can choose between the two.
I know, but I guess the thrill of it and everything, maybe. I don't know. Well, I'd be scared shitless, but that's just me.
1,000%, especially if I wasn't very big. Even though you get thrown, if you get thrown off the horse, it really doesn't matter what size you are. You're in trouble.
No,
so.
When those horses walk by me, just walking, I'm thinking I ain't getting on that thing.
Well, you think visiting a barn, and it's a very fun thing to do, but you're always on edge. I feel.
You are, because you don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, because they're nuts. Yeah, and that's just walking by them in a stall. You don't know if they're going to come out and try to bite you or not.
No.
So, all right, Taptastic. Okay, maybe you've talked me off of him a little bit.
No, I think with Napoleon out, I think
look, I'm sticking him in fourth, and that's that. That's how I look at it. All right, Renegade. He's the favorite. A lot of people in the chat thinking Renegade's a single in this spot. Look, he gets Irad to ride. Irad jumped off Commandment in the Florida Derby to come ride this horse. I have a feeling there's more to it. I don't think it's as simple as Irad thinks Renegade's better than Commandment. I'll put it that way. Yeah. That being said, Renegade looks good in this race.
Well, he does.
Yeah.
But I don't think he looks any better than the two.
The problem there's in bingo. I think it's a 2-horse race for the win between the 2 and the 6. I think that the 6 is going to be 4 to 5.
Okay. Why does everybody love this horse?
Well, there's a lot. To me, there's a lot of reasons. He won the Sam F. Davis. He beat the Puma. The Puma came back to win the Tampa Bay Derby. So that's good. He won that one pretty easy. Now the Puma got a bad trip in that race, but still he won it pretty easy. The Remsen Stakes, he was second behind Paladin. Paladin is the Kentucky Derby favorite right now. So he's got a good resume.
Yeah.
And then the whole Irad riding him instead of Commandment, who just won the Fountain of Youth, is a big thing.
That is.
People. Yeah.
That's something to think about. But the Tampa Derby, is that a big deal? It's not to me.
I think this year, yeah. I think there were better horses that went there this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the Puma's that good.
Well, he's going to run this weekend. We'll see. I'm kind of with you. I think I think he's good, but I think he's like the second tier.
I think he's 4th in that race.
Well, in that race, yes, but I'm saying like in general, if you're ranking them the class by tiers, I'd put the Puma in the second tier.
Yeah, or the 3rd.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Look, if he runs 4th,
that's my opinion. I don't think this horse should be 3 to 2.
Yeah.
I would not bet him at 3 to 2. There's no way.
Yeah, that's kind of where I kept going back to. Also, and look, I've said it a million times, and it is certainly not the only data point I look at, but the time form numbers on Renegade aren't that good. Mm-hmm. Now, to be clear, I think Emerging Market was like the 4th best time form number last week. I picked him to win the race, because again, it's not the end all be all. They're young horses. You got to project improvement, blah blah blah. But if Silent Tactic wasn't in the race, I would just go ahead and pick Renegade. But I feel like they're very similar, and I feel like I'm getting a better price on Silent Tactic, and he just might be a little bit better. We're going to find out. So,
well, he's ran on that track, and that means something.
I think it does. And look, he got beat by a Pletcher that had never ran on the track the first time in the Rebel.
True.
Last time.
That's true.
To me, I think it's just the 2 and the 6, and you move on.
Probably, yeah.
I'm certainly not going to talk anybody off the 6. I think Renegade's got a big chance, obviously.
He's definitely the 2nd the 1st or 2nd, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree. So, final one, litmus test. You said throw him out.
Yeah, I don't consider him.
Couple of bad things with him. In one for sure, Arrieta is riding. Baffert did not even get one of his regular Southern California jockeys to come in here to ride.
That's a dead giveaway.
I think it is too.
And I think Baffert had to have something in the race too. So
yeah.
Here's the deal with the Baffert and at Oaklawn. That was a terrible showing in the Rebel.
Mm-hmm.
And his good horses do not run that poorly in the Rebel. And I know you can't always go by that.
Well, I'll say this. I don't think that horse is best on the lead. Like, I think he needs to come from out of it. But I will say this. The flip side of it is I was texting with Ricky during the race, and when they were on the backside and that horse was a length and a half ahead and setting fractions that really weren't all that fast, I text Ricky. I said, if this is the old Baffert, this horse is going to win by 3 or 4. And he stopped.
No, he faded.
Yeah, so. He just stopped. Yeah. Huh. So
no. And the dead giveaway, like you said, look at the jockey. And again, no knock on the jockey at all. Mm-hmm. I'm not that kind of person. Any jockey that gets on a horse is brave.
Well, okay, just jump in real quick. I think Arrieta is a good jockey.
I do too.
But it's not a Baffert move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like he got somebody who's down there to ride the horse.
Right.
And he does not do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yep. And I think you have to look at that.
Yep.
I really do.
I said there's always backstories. Maybe Arrieta's been working that horse out because here's the other thing. He left litmus test at Oaklawn. I can't remember the last time he's done that. He always ships him back to California and ships him back. He left him there.
Nice. Yeah.
Maybe to get a little bit of fitness over the track. That is very possible. And maybe Arrieta was kind of working him and they get along. I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know. That part we don't know.
Did he run that race off the layoff? Yeah, he's in the same boat as Blackout Time. I do think this horse improves. I think litmus test is, again, I've said it a million times. I think he's better when he has a target. Go watch the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and then go watch the Los Amigos for Charity when he was sitting just off the pace. He ran a lot better. Mm-hmm. And then you go watch the Breeders' for Charity at Keeneland when he was on the lead. He looked a lot like he did in the Rebel. He just kind of didn't do anything.
Well, you look at those races where he's been either second or first, he's faded every time. So,
so
hadn't gained. So
all of what we just set off the table. Okay. Yeah. The 2 races where he got really good numbers good enough to win here. Breeders' Cup Juvenile, which has come back to not be very good. None of those horses have really done any running. Now a couple of them got hurt, and then Los Alamitos for Charity. He hasn't finished ahead of anybody that's any good. That's the problem, right? Yeah. And so that's like my whole thing. It's like I see a lot of positives with him coming into this race. I do think he's going to get better second off the layoff. How good is he? I don't know. That's the problem.
Right.
Like I tend to think he's just not he's not at that level. And this race has got to be the big, he's got to really improve in my opinion this year to show us that he is at that level.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Me too. I can't pick.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him to the point if somebody said, hey, I'm going to play him. I wouldn't talk you off of him. I would say, ooh, maybe don't do that. I would just say, yeah, I don't love him, but I could. I mean, there's a world where he wins for sure.
Oh, sure.
Say Redlands Rebels sets the pace. Litmus Test sits right off of him. He gets first run. Maybe Renegade doesn't fire or gets traffic or whatever. Or maybe we've overrated Renegade and Silent Tactic. Well, yeah, Litmus Test wins.
And you look at this race, there's no speed in it.
Well, I think
now that Napoleon's out,
I think Redland Rebels will
he'll go
be the one. Yeah, I think he'll be the one.
But if you look at his record, he gets to the lead, but he can't hold it. So he's not really a threat. If he goes out there, they'll stay within range of him, but they're not going to be worried about him holding them off.
He feels like the prototypical horse where you go, he can wire it, but he really can he? I don't know. Like I think he's going to fade. I really do. It's not like the last time out I thought he ran. I think he's a decent horse. I just don't think he's this level of a horse.
Right.
Yeah. So are we both on silent tactic?
I am. Yeah,
I am too.
And I got Renegade second.
One last thing, I do too. And look, it's for like pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 6s. If you play those, 2-6.
Yeah.
I don't think you need anybody else.
Well, you got to go. When I was handicapping this card, oh my God, I thought it was impossible.
Oh, it is a classic Oaklawn where there's like there's 6 races where you go, yeah, those are pretty good horses.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are like, why are these horses running on Arkansas Derby Day?
Somebody texted me this morning. They're going to the race.
Yeah.
And they go, any pointers? And I said, in big capped letters, I texted back, don't bet much money.
Well, don't bet much money on every race would be my correction to that.
And I told them, I said, sprinkle it around a little bit. And there were 6 or 8 of them going. And I said, you know what I told them, do the show parlay and have some fun.
Yeah. The show parlays on Arkansas Derby Day are a great time.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
All of you get together, chip in $5 or $10 and start going and hope you keep hitting them. And you'll never have more fun.
Yeah, it is. The show parlay is a fun thing at Oaklawn for sure. This early part of the card, like the first 4 races.
Oh my God.
I kind of told myself on the betting Bible, I'm not telling people to skip races because people are buying the betting Bible to bet. Like that's what they want to do. I invested $2 in the first 3 races, I think, because it's like, look, it's a 14 race card. Number one, I get you want picks, we got everything on there, but like, I cannot tell you to bet a ton of races on an Arkansas bred like maiden claimer, or a maiden special weight Arkansas bred that doesn't have any horses in it, or whatever.
You just can't.
No.
And Arkansas Derby Day is that way, man. It's tough.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I couldn't myself sit there and justify, okay, Arkansas bred 25 maiden claimers on a 14 race card that has all these other races that are, it's like, guys, like if you see something you love, go ahead and do it, but just know going in, like it's some of
and even if you're doing a show parlay, you might want to skip that one.
Right. Well, you don't skip in a show parlay. That's how you should be put in jail if you skip a show parlay.
My goodness, sometimes you can't even pick a horse to show.
It's hard sometimes. I chuckled at this too. So the late pick 5 is an allowance. Okay, that's fine. Then the Oaklawn Mile, really, really good race. It's a race you can trust a lot of horses in there.
Yeah.
Maiden special weight. Arkansas Derby. Arkansas bred maiden special weight. What the fuck are you doing?
Let's just
why are you doing that?
I don't know. Well, you know why they're doing it.
Yeah. They want to
want anybody to win.
Yeah, they want to show, hey, look, it's a $6,000 payout or something.
That's right, but nobody won it.
I one last thing on the Arkansas Derby card. I am not betting that favorite in the 14th race. That Arkansas bred favorite.
Oh God, no!
I'm not doing it.
There's no such thing as a favorite in the Arkansas races. No. Arkansas bred race.
That horse may win by 10. I am not betting that horse. That's just what I'm saying. I've been here too long, and I ain't doing it. So.
Oh gosh, it's what makes it what it is.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great weather.
If you're sitting there and you're organizing a card, and there's the weather's. Let's see though. It's supposed to get cold, but it warms back up on Saturday, doesn't it?
Yeah, Saturday will be fine.
It's not too bad.
No.
Tomorrow's supposed to be a little bit colder than it is today. Yeah. Anyway, if you're organizing the card and there's going to be 65,000 people there, in which about 60,000, that's the only race they go to.
Yeah.
It's like church on Easter. They go to church on Easter, but they don't go any other day, any other Sunday. That's what it's like. So you got about 60,000 that aren't real, they're not experts. None of us are really. But anyhow, they're going to load that card with some sucker bets. Is what they're going to do. That's what happens.
Well, they want big fields, and they know they can get big fields.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a lot of it too.
And that's every track in the country. So that's how they make their money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Will Rogers is running Saturday,
right?
Because they want to get people there to bet Oaklawn
at
the casino on Saturday. That's why they're running. They don't run on Saturdays.
No.
But they put together an 8-race card just to get people there,
Yeah, they'll know that that simulcast area will be packed. Yeah. And they have a nice simulcast area there.
They do. They really do. Yeah.
Yep. Should be very fun. Should be very fun.
Oh, it always is.
Yep. Arkansas Derby Day, always a great day. What else is great? Okay. Anything else, by the way, before we go?
No.
Or before we get to basketball?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Just I didn't figure. All right. Let me pull up the basketball here. We'll run through these games. Starts tonight. Going to be a lot of fun tonight, as we've got 4 games for the Sweet 16, and then we'll do tomorrow's games as well. One thing I want to ask you while I pull this up, did you watch baseball last night?
Of course not.
No, you didn't watch it. Okay.
Why would I watch that?
You didn't miss much. It was good. It was good for those of us that bet the Yankees.
Yeah, I heard Jimmy Kimmel. He was talking about it. He goes, "Well, baseball opened last night, and man, you got to win that first one because it's hard to come back for that next 161 if you lose that first one." That was hilarious. The Giants are in big trouble. They got beat last night.
Yeah, that is the tough sell though for baseball. There's 160.
Oh yeah, it takes a while. And I tell you the other thing, I can't even begin to even think about betting baseball till 1st of May.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what, some team will get off, some crappy team will win the first 6.
Yeah.
They always do. And everybody goes, oh my gosh, they're very much improved. And by the end of April, they'll be like 7-10.
Yeah. Well,
every year.
It was very funny. I was on with VSiN last night, and they were like, "All right, how you attacking this opening day?" I was like, "Well, guys, here's the deal. There's 162 games, and I was like, every team has their ace. Okay,
yep.
So the only way you attack opening day is find the teams that really don't have an ace, and they're going up against an ace, and take that team, right? So it's like." Yeah. Opening day really isn't. I don't think it's like the greatest for betting, but
oh no, anyway. It's tough. Baseball's tough anyway.
Well, and like you said, we're in the middle of the NHL and March Madness and all this stuff. Yeah. So
you can find better things to do.
Well, yeah, I watched it, but yeah, I agree with you. Okay, let's get to it. Here we go. Texas, Purdue. Purdue's a 7.5-point favorite. Do you believe in Texas? What do you think?
I think they played very well.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, this is true. I guess they deserve to be in the tournament.
Yep.
Do I believe them? Well, when you look at, who they beat, they kind of, let me look here real quick. Okay. They had BYU, which neither one of us thought they were very good. And I was not high on Gonzaga. I thought they would beat them.
Yeah.
But I thought Gonzaga would beat Texas, but they didn't. So I don't feel like they've had a real tough go of it to get to the Sweet 16. These teams that they beat aren't great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A lot of times you see a team like this, they get to the Sweet 16 and then the bubble busts. And I think that's tonight. I think Purdue pulls away late and beats them. I think Purdue's playing at a high level.
They really impressed me. They were behind at the half of their 30. It's a round of 32 game, and they were able to win. Right. I think it's Purdue for me. I don't know about 7.5.
Yeah, that's the only thing, but I think they get it late.
Okay, all right, I'm with you.
And that may be my Texas bias.
Well, I part of me is like, yeah, okay, they won, and you got to give them credit. But the other part of me, I still think back to like, man, this team really was not good.
No, they weren't.
Most of the year. So, okay, we're gonna.
It's hard for me to pick a team that's lost 14 games.
Well, but they've won 2, and that's all that matters now.
They've won 3, actually.
Well, they've won 3. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Playing game too, because sometimes the momentum disappears when you come up against a team like Purdue.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. We're on the same page there. This is one I'm looking very much forward to.
You bet.
Iowa, Nebraska.
Yep.
Battle of the Corn here. Love this matchup. Nebraska's a 1.5-point favorite. Love that Iowa was able to slow down Florida and beat him. I thought that was just an incredible coaching job.
It was.
By our boy McCollum. All right, though. What happens here in this one?
I have no idea.
I don't either. This
I
was the
can't pick
hardest game
this
for me.
one.
Yeah, this was the hardest game for me.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa is so well coached, and what a shocker! Weren't you shocked?
Shocked.
They
Shocked.
because they're not overly talented at all.
Mm-hmm.
Their best player played D2
Mm-hmm.
at Northwest Missouri State.
Mm-hmm.
And he was great. And McCollum, their coach, was at Northwest Missouri. He went to Drake last year. He took this kid with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he followed him to Iowa. And now he's one of the best players in the Big Ten. He played Division II for 2 years. So,
real quick, doesn't it kind of validate what we've always said? Like that conference at Northwest, because our school's in that conference too. It's like we see guys and we're like, you know what? They could play freaking anywhere. And guess what? They can. We've seen it. Yeah.
And when he was at Northwest, no wonder they were winning national titles. He had Division I players there.
Right. Yeah.
So the guy's amazing. When he took the Drake job, I knew he would do great there. I wasn't sure at Iowa.
Sure. It's different.
That's a different animal when you go up to the Big Ten. There's so many schools that are so good. And Iowa's always pretty good. He's just an amazing coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, I know that this a friend of mine was the assistant AD, and I think I told this story once before. When they came to play, he was the assistant AD at Missouri Southern, and when they came to play, this was McCollum's last year at Northwest. Mm-hmm. They were in there for their shoot around before they came in early before the game to shoot around.
Yep.
And he was in there. The assistant AD he wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. He was setting up the chairs for the bench, where they were going to sit. He was just he was getting the arena ready for the game. He really wasn't paying much attention to him.
Uh-huh.
And McCollum came over to him. And he said, he was very courteous. And he said, who are you? And Jackson said, he told him who he was. And he goes, I was told that when we were in here at the shoot around, this arena would be empty. And Jackson goes, oh, okay, well, I'll leave, coach. It's not a big deal. He goes, I would really appreciate that. He goes, because I'm not saying you're doing it, but you could be taking down notes and stuff. That's how meticulous this guy is.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has a tie, and he wears the same tie all year long.
Really?
Yeah. And at Northwest, what he would do when they won the national championships, I think they won 3 or 4 when he was up there, he would put that tie around the trophy in the trophy case.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So anyway, for sentimental reasons, I'm going to take them.
I
kind of think Nebraska's a little better.
I do too.
But I don't know that they can beat Iowa. I don't know.
My problem is I'm too close to it too. And guys, the way you see Iowa play, the way you saw Drake play, that's the way they played in Division II. They did. Northwest, tough nose, just
tough.
Defensive. Defensive battle, just can't score on them.
No.
Yeah. And he always had guards that were exceptional players.
They were. And then
that was always the guys, like you would watch guys, and there's guys that didn't go D1 because that wasn't really in vogue at the time when he was there. When you would watch him, it was like, how is this guy not somewhere else? Like, I can't remember the kid's name, but he was unbelievable. He was a player of the year D2 forever, 2 years in a row, I think.
Yeah, he was so good.
Yeah,
and I was so impressed when they would come out to warm up.
Mm-hmm.
There was no jacking around.
No.
They were all business. I mean, every single one of them had a purpose for everything they were doing.
Yeah. And he's awesome. And we had another guy, Kim Anderson, who coached at Central Missouri, which he was a great D2 coach, right?
He was.
And he went to Missouri, and we were all like, oh, that's going to be great. And he didn't do well. So it shows you not everybody can do it, right?
No. And everybody, like you said, everybody thought he would do fine there. He was a Missouri graduate.
Right.
He was a great player at Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a good guy, too. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But he was cut different than McCollum.
He was way more like a laid back.
He was
type.
he had fun at the games. He'd come in and wave to the crowd.
He was kind of more of a celebrity actor. This McCollum guy is freaking just. There's nothing fancy
No, he
about
don't
him.
say
Like
he don't say anything to anybody.
no,
No.
no. And I could totally see him doing what you said there.
Well, do you remember, Aaron, the first time we ever saw him was senior day when some of our favorite players were graduating.
Yeah.
And we went and we sat behind the Northwest bench.
Yeah.
And they were terrible. It was his first year. And they weren't even going to make the MIAA tournament. They were just playing their last game.
Yeah.
And Southern was really good. And it was senior day for some of the greatest players that ever played at Southern. The place was a big crowd that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they played their butts off.
Yes.
It was close. The game was close.
It was one of the better games of that season. Yeah.
I know. And I knew right then this guy is getting these guys to play this. They'd won like 6 games.
Yeah. The first year he was there, they were horrible. Yeah.
They were awful. And there they were 6 hours from home on a Saturday afternoon, the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Playing a really good Missouri Southern team. I think Missouri Southern might have won the tournament that year. I know they made the playoffs.
They
got
won
beat.
the MIAA conference for sure.
They got beat in the tournament. Because we went and Fort Hays beat them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
But they were great. That was a great team. And they won probably 27, 28 games. And Northwest went toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah.
And he's over there just coaching his tail end off. You knew then, hey, this guy's different. So
it was really
yeah. So I'm pulling for him tonight. And I have nothing against Nebraska because I'd like to be rooting for them too. I think they're a great story as well.
Yeah, that Vandy game was a great game for them. So
yeah,
they're
very, very good, and I think they're a little better than Iowa. And I kind of think though, if I was going to bet, I'd bet Nebraska. I think I would.
Yeah, my heart says Iowa. My head says Nebraska.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Arkansas, Arizona next.
Right.
Arizona 7.5 point favorite here. This is a fascinating game to me.
It is. There's a couple of things that worry me about Arkansas. See if you agree.
Okay.
I kept waiting for them to put High Point away, and they couldn't do it. Did that bother you?
No.
It didn't? Okay.
That High Point team was freaking good.
They were, weren't they?
God, they were good.
That's the only Cinderella team we've had in this tournament.
They didn't look like Cinderella. They looked like studs. I was really impressed with them.
You've made the point several times. There are no more Cinderellas in NIL, and it sure looks like it.
Yeah.
But they were an exception. But I thought they would finally put them away, and they didn't. And that's because they can't guard. They're not good defensively.
They aren't good defensively.
I think that's going to be the difference. That and Arizona can pound your ass inside.
Yeah. That's the problem.
They got the best player in the country. Arkansas does. This guy's unbelievable. And they got some other guys that are playing lights out.
Yeah.
And Calipari, this is where he excels.
Yeah.
And the pressure's on Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't think Arkansas can beat them.
I don't either.
7.5. That's a lot.
I would take Arkansas on the points. One thing I will say about here's the game. Arizona's going to kill them inside.
I think so too.
Their inside game is just wow.
Arkansas will have to outscore them, and I don't think they can.
Right. So, but here's where it could get interesting. The problem is, I think Arkansas's athleticism is really going to bother Arizona.
I do too.
So I think that's the game. Like, can they out-athlete them? I tend to think no. I
think Arizona is very athletic too.
Mm-hmm.
It just bothers me that they had to score 94 points to beat High Point.
Again, the High Point thing doesn't worry me.
It does me.
I think High Point will be harder to guard than Arizona. How about that? I've never seen a team that quick. They were so quick.
They were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
I don't think Arkansas is winning though. I don't think that they can match up inside, and that's
no, I don't either.
Yeah. So,
and I just don't think they guard good enough.
Right.
So
Yeah.
But they are fun to watch.
They are. Yeah, good teams going out right here. They should have been seeded a little higher, my opinion.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Illinois and Houston next. Houston's 2.5-point favorite. I think this will be a hell of a game, too. Who you got? I think I'm going Houston because where it's at. It's at Houston.
I didn't even think about it. You're right.
But that's the kicker to me.
As soon as I saw it was in Houston, I thought, well, that's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm rooting my butt off for them. I just don't think it's right to send a contending team like them.
Yeah.
Who you're pretty sure is going to make the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
To the damn town where you play. I just don't think that's.
Yeah.
And I don't like Illinois at all. I don't like them. So.
Yeah.
I just think Houston will beat them. I think it's going to be a war, though. I'm looking at that under total 140. It could go under that.
It's going to be a war.
Oh,
it's going to be a war.
Oh, they'll knock the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
It'll be a rock'em sock'em physical war.
Yeah, and the next one will be a war when whether it's Iowa or Nebraska or whether it's Houston or Illinois, it'll be another just a battle.
Oh, it will.
So
it will.
Think of Iowa and Houston. If that's the game, my God, what a slugfest that's going to be.
No, I know it. And it's pretty good to watch.
Yep. I think Houston takes that.
I think they beat them.
Let's go to Friday games here. St. John's and Duke. This is an interesting game. There's no doubt about it.
By the way, back to Houston for a second. Florida getting beat really makes their path to the Final Four a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get by Illinois, they're better than Nebraska or Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have an easier time beating them than they would have Florida.
Yep.
I think. So their path to the Final Four got a little bit easier when Florida got beat. You still got to win.
Yep.
But it got easier. Duke and St. John's, I think this will be a fantastic game too. Talk about a team that's underseeded. St. John's is underseeded, although they almost blew that second round game.
Kansas, yeah.
They had that game won. It took a miracle to win it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they beat Kansas in overtime. Had it went to whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought Kansas played that good. They had a lot of fouls to give, and they used up all their fouls, and then they just didn't guard the final play.
Yeah.
I'm going Duke simply because I picked them to get all the way to the finals. So I think they're a little bit better. This is going to be a really good game, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great game.
I don't know, 6.5. I may take a shot with St. John's and the points.
Man, I think St. John's and the points might be the play. Yeah.
I think it'll be close.
It's a lot of points. That's for sure.
No.
Although I kind of looking for Duke to maybe play a little better.
They haven't played real well. Yeah.
No. I don't know.
Yeah.
Should be a good one there. I don't know what to do on that.
Sometimes you get to that Sweet 16 and that number one seed plays better.
Yeah.
Once they get there. There's a lot of pressure just to get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah. So, for sure. Once you get to it, like I said, it's like you kind of relax a bit.
You relax a little bit. Yeah.
Alabama takes on Michigan here. Michigan 9.5-point favorite in this one. Big spread here. Biggest one, I believe.
I think so. Well, Alabama's been impressive.
Mm-hmm.
They're better than I thought.
Yeah.
They've shocked me. Michigan is. I can't take 9.5. I don't think I can do it.
I don't think I can either. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points for a team that can just shoot the lights out of it like Alabama does.
Yeah.
I think Michigan wins though.
I'm going to take Michigan. I'm not going to bet it because it's a lot of points, but I don't trust Alabama fully either.
No, I don't either.
As far as the spreads go, this one and that Nebraska-Iowa game's the least spread here. -1.5 for UConn, Michigan State. I'm taking Michigan State.
I can tell you, this is another one. You better get your helmets and your shoulder pads on.
Yeah. It's going to be a battle.
Just look at that total, 134.5.
Yep.
That's like, 65-65, something in that range.
Yep.
Below 70 anyway. So I think it'll be exactly that type of game. Neither one of them get up and down the floor real fast.
No.
They're very physical. UConn's played well in the tournament. We knew they would. So we'll have the Spartans. I'm going with them too. I'd pick an upset somewhere. So I'm going with Michigan State.
All right, Michigan State for both of us. Like I said, I'm going to take them outright. You're going to take them as well. I think, boy, they're playing really, really well.
They are.
I thought they played really well in that second round game. So we'll see what happens there. All right, and then finally, Tennessee and Iowa State. I thought Iowa State cranked up the defense in that game against Kentucky. Yeah. And Kentucky wanted zero part of it. I thought Kentucky got embarrassed in that game, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. But what do you think here? They're not playing Kentucky. They're playing Tennessee. What do you think?
And, Tennessee was stumbling around coming into this, and they have been lights out in this thing.
Yeah, they played very well.
They got on a hot streak going into March, and then they kind of faded down the stretch. And coming into this, they weren't playing worth. They were just – I don't think they won a game in the Southeast Conference tournament.
Yeah, I think –
I bet Dennis. I was thinking about you when I.
Oh, Dennis was having a ball watching this game. Yeah,
that's all you could ask for.
Yeah. Well, look, and the thing about it is, we always root against the teams we don't like, but when you're watching them and it's like they're just getting embarrassed out there, it's that much better. You're just like,
oh, you can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
So, you just sit there and go, God, how could this get any better?
Well, it's funny. It's funny. My buddy Paul, the big Iowa State fan, he texted me. He's like, "These first 5 minutes are going to be important." I was like, "Yeah, and the next 35 are going to be important too." It's the typical. I'm very nervous. I just want to say something.
Yeah, exactly.
Comment like we all do.
Been there, done that.
I've done it a million times. Like OU football. It's always like we can't turn it over.
Yeah.
It's like, well, of course you can't. You're just nervous. You need to say something. And I texted him and I was like, I hope those first 5 minutes really aren't that important because they were getting blown out. And from that, I would say the 10-minute mark in the first half on, they locked it down.
They did.
They just locked it down. And it showed just how Kentucky, they're not tough. They didn't really care. I don't know what it is, but.
Yeah, they're just not good enough.
Or that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to take Iowa State. I think they're a little bit better, but Tennessee beating Virginia.
Yeah,
that's a great win, and I got to take Iowa State in Chicago. As I guess it was Paul pointed out last week, that'll be a pretty good crowd for Iowa State in Chicago.
Yeah,
and I think they're a little bit better, and I like them. I want to root for them.
Yeah, I do too.
And 3.5, I think they can cover that.
I do too. I think if they win, they cover. I kind of think that's going to be. I don't want to say lopsided. I'm got a lot of confidence in Iowa State in that game.
Yeah,
I think they'll play well.
They're playing awfully well.
Iowa State, Michigan. If it comes down to that, I'm going Michigan. I can't pick them to beat Michigan.
Yeah, you're probably right. I want to see Michigan play this week, see how they play.
Oh, that's fair enough. We don't have, obviously we're not betting now on that game. Yeah, fair enough. And then Michigan State, Duke.
I would lean Duke.
I kind of lean Michigan State.
Okay.
I kind of think they're going to make it. And then we'll go back a day, just talk about these real quick. Purdue and Arizona is who we're speculating.
Okay. I would take Arizona.
Me too. And then we both kind of said Nebraska, Houston's probably what it's going to be. I would take Houston if that's the case.
I think Houston's a lock to win that one.
Okay. All right. So
I think this game, if they win this game against Illinois, I think they're a lock for the Final Four. I really do, because they don't have to go through Florida now.
I agree. Yep.
And there's a lot of people that picked them, not a lot, but more than I thought. Picked them to win the national championship. It's got a whole lot easier when Florida went out.
Absolutely, it did. Absolutely,
they can beat Duke.
Yeah,
they can beat anybody.
Yep,
the way they play.
Yep,
but they got to shoot the ball well.
Yep,
sometimes they don't, and that's where they get beat.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen. I think both those games are going to be tough. I don't just assume they're going to beat Iowa and Nebraska either.
Yeah.
Houston, it's a grind every time they play. It feels like so.
Oh, it is because they're just not offensive. They're better than they have been, but
I think we're going to see some really good basketball games.
Oh, it is.
I think this is going to be good. So we'll see what happens.
A lot of people are saying, well, the tournament's been kind of boring. Well, it has because the favorites are winning.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's boring, but we don't have any Cinderella teams.
Mm-hmm. No.
You can't say Texas is Cinderella.
No.
They play in the SEC.
Honestly, kind of Iowa and Nebraska are the two Cinderella teams. Iowa because the big upset, and then Nebraska because this is all new to them.
That's right. They're the two. And they're not really, you can't say they're Cinderella because they're in the Big Ten. But I know what you're saying.
They're not Cinderella, but they definitely are teams like the fan that just wants to root for underdogs. That's kind of your underdogs, I feel like. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I was going back through this, just looking. High Point was a Cinderella team.
Yes.
VCU won a game.
Yep.
And if you want to call St. Louis a Cinderella, they won a game.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But to be like the true Cinderella, you kind of got to win a couple.
Yeah, you do. You got to get to the Sweet 16, and we don't have one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of, like you said, I'm not sure we're going to have another one with this NIL.
I think if High Point would have got matched up with somebody other than Arkansas, I think they would have won.
By the way, speaking of NIL at the D2 level.
Okay.
I was talking to a person who knows.
Okay.
Missouri Southern's got this big 6'1" girl, freshman, that's going to be a star. They're afraid they're going to lose her.
Really?
NIL.
Yeah.
They're trying to come up with something because she doesn't want to go. She likes it there. But if you dangle some money under somebody's nose, it's hard to say no.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's hate that.
I know.
That's reality.
Now they're thinking she's going to stay, but anyway, NIL's everywhere.
It is. And to that point, Dennis asked a question yesterday to me, wanted me to ask you, would you rather would you rather be a fan of a school that like every year they've got a decent amount of NIL where they can maybe get to a level where they're good, not great? Or would you rather your school save all the money and let's say 1 year, it's just like, we're going to suck because we're saving all this money. And then the next year we're going to have superstars.
Ooh.
What would you rather have?
So you're talking consistency against a 1 year thing.
Yes.
That's a good question.
Yep. And I don't think it's far-fetched. I think that's something that schools might try to do. Hey, so let's save up for 2 or 3 years and then explode with something.
Well, if you do that, you better tell the coach we're not going to fire you.
Well, yeah, that'd have to be part of it. Yeah.
I don't have the answer. I'd have to get to the Final Four before I'd say it was, or the Final Four of the playoffs in football.
Yeah.
To do that, I would want to make sure I at least got to the semifinals.
Yeah. This is my answer.
If I'm just I just make the college football playoffs and I get beat the first round.
Yeah.
No. You just do that once.
Well, but
I'd rather be consistent. But
the point of it is like you would every other year you'd kind of you have that team.
So you're going to do it every other year.
Yeah, yeah. Like you'd save up a year and then spend and then save and then spend.
So you're up a year but down the next.
Yeah, I think I would take that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I would.
And it may be coming to. I don't know what it's coming to.
Yeah,
we have no idea.
I think I'd take that.
Yeah.
I would rather win a huge and then have an off year than just be okay to good every year.
So, for example, let's look at Iowa here. They always win 20, 21 year team wins. So that's what Dennis is talking about. Be like that every year.
Yeah.
Or load up.
Yeah.
And try to win 27 or 28. And then the next year you win 16 or 17.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I might trade that off for every other year.
Yeah, it's probably both would get old after a while.
I think it would.
But
you go, well, shit. Well, this is the year we're not going to win.
Well, yeah, and it's like, what do we do? Did I take this year off? Like, yeah, I don't know. But again,
going to the games this year. This is our down year,
right? But then you make that run the next year, and like, well, it's probably worth it,
Yeah.
So, hard to say, but
I don't know. It's been a long time since OU got to the final 16 in basketball.
Yeah, it has for sure. Question on Hubert Davis got fired at North Carolina. What do you think about that?
I never did like him very well. I never did think he was too good. I'm surprised. But I think I heard him talking one time, I think it was last year, that they are doing a poor job with NIL.
Oh, for real? Wow.
Yes. He made a comment, we're going to have to change the way we're doing things.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I don't follow basketball enough to know.
I'm wondering if that had something to do with it. Here's the thing, though. They were doing okay till you can't lose your best player.
Yeah.
And he was far and away their best player.
Yeah.
And they faded after he got hurt. So there's got to be more to it, I think. He's a graduate of there. There's got to be some not getting along with somebody. There has to be more to it, I think.
Yeah. Throwing money at football is what I heard.
Well, that is not turning out real well yet. So.
No. Well, they made that big investment in Belichick, and they're going to do this and that, and it hasn't worked out. That's interesting. I don't know. I think, look, you're at North Carolina, you're not winning, and so you're going to go. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is Bill Self going to retire? I was going to ask you that too.
That is very interesting.
It seems like it's going to happen from what I've heard, but nothing.
I would have thought he would already have done it.
Yeah,
maybe he's waiting till the tournament gets over.
I wonder if he's kind of wrestling with the idea one way or the other.
I don't think he wants to retire.
He's got health problems, right?
He's got health problems. He has AFib.
Right.
AFib is an irregular heartbeat.
Right.
And I would think coaching would be very dangerous with a person that had a irregular heartbeat.
Yes.
And he did have to go away from it for a week or so this year.
Yeah.
And if I'd coached a team like he coached, I'd have an irregular heartbeat.
Well,
they were up and down, up and down.
He's always going to have a team like that. Unfortunately, like that's just.
Yeah, I don't. He's older than he looks.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those guys that probably just can't give it up.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah.
And so he probably, I don't know. I guess he's probably sitting around thinking about it, waiting until the tournament's over.
Yeah.
To make a decision. So
a
lot of people think he's going to, though.
Yeah, I think he's going to.
Which leads to who do they go get?
Yeah, Kansas and North Carolina open jobs.
A couple pretty good jobs right there.
Seems it. Yeah, seems like that would be a place to coach.
I would think you'd want to go to one of those if you had the opportunity.
I would think
and there's a lot of guys out there that, they'll be looking at. There's the guy in Nebraska. I think you got to look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's done a great job there because they've been nothing.
How about the guy at Iowa?
Well,
winner gets the Kansas job.
That would be 3 Division I jobs in 3 years.
Well,
and I think he's from Iowa.
Here's good news for you. When you get the Kansas job, you don't have to look for another one. So
if you're successful, that is
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he would do it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm trying to think. Did that guy from High Point? Did he get? No, it wasn't him. It was somebody from College of Charleston got a job somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I saw that last night.
Yep.
So,
and then Syracuse hired McNamara from
Siena. Yeah, and he was at Siena. By the way, what an effort they gave!
Oh my gosh, I thought they were going to win.
I did too.
Yep.
They played fantastic in that
game. I thought they just weren't. They just weren't good enough. But man, yeah, they were.
No,
that was fun.
He never subbed.
No.
When's the last time you saw that?
Well, I think you just realized we don't have enough. We can't. So we got to. We got to just roll with this. Yeah. yeah, we got to roll with this.
So they need a rest. Big deal. They got the rest of the year. They can rest then.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the way you used to coach. Not anymore, but that's the way you used to.
Did you hear the favorite for the UNC job, Billy Donovan? I don't even. Where is he? What happened to him?
I thought he was having health issues.
Didn't he went to the pros? I know that.
Yeah, is he with the Bulls?
He what? No, I don't know where he went. He was with the Thunder there forever.
Huh?
Wasn't he with the Thunder for a long time?
I thought he went to the Bulls after that.
He did. Yeah. I don't know.
I get him confused with the guy they had before him, Brooks. That Brooks guy.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Remember him?
Yep. I do. I don't know. He's still with the Bulls. Okay.
He's with the Bulls?
Yeah, he's still with the Bulls.
Well, I don't think he's going to be because they're terrible.
Yeah. So that's why, baby.
He would be. He did very well at Florida.
That would be an unbelievable hire if they get him. I'll just say that. That would be very, very good. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else?
No. I can't think of anything. I guess I better get to picking these baseball games here.
That's right. Yeah. Happy opening day to everybody. The first pitches for these first games is going to come up here pretty soon. Cardinals, they're going to open up their 90-loss season this year.
I wonder if this is the warmest opening day they've ever had.
Oh my God. It is great. I wish I lived up there. I would be at the game. Yeah. It's great.
We were sitting around talking the other night, a bunch of us old people. None of us can ever remember 4 straight days like we had last week of temperatures this warm in March.
Really Saturday and Sunday both, even Friday, they were all timers.
Saturday was 95 degrees.
I sat outside all day and watched horse racing and basketball. And
it was so nice.
Incredible. Yeah, it was.
95 on March, whatever that was, 21st.
Yep.
Never have I ever. And every once in a while you have a day in March, but then it's only 1 or maybe 2. We had 4, and this week's just, well, here was the deal. On Monday, it would have been like the 10th or 11th. It would have been about the 15th. It was 19 degrees.
Yeah. It was free. It was snowing.
Yes, it was snowing on Monday at 19 degrees.
Yep.
And on Saturday, it was 95.
It was insane.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was great, and it's still going to be good. Unfortunately, I'm heading to the frozen tundra this weekend. So,
Plattsburgh, you're leaving? You're going to New York
tomorrow? Yeah.
Is it really bad up there?
30 is the high on Saturday. So,
what are you going up there for?
Nephew's got his last play, so we'll go up and watch that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see everybody for a couple days.
What's the play?
Ooh, good question.
It's a play, so what does it matter?
Yeah, he's done. They did Grease. It was really good.
Oh, okay.
They did School of Rock. That was good.
This high school?
Yeah, that's high school. And he's the lead. He's been the lead ever since he's a freshman. He's going to college to do it too.
So he's a singer.
Yeah, he's a singer and actor. He's talented, really talented.
So this will be a musical.
Right. So like if he was let's say not the lead, we wouldn't go. But it's like this is his version of if they were playing in the Final Four in basketball.
This is his thing.
He's very good. So
and that's good. So
yeah, absolutely. So we go to watch that.
So this is like the TV show Glee, kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a high school musical group.
It's a high school music. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh,
and
cool.
Okay. So here they don't take them all that seriously. Down there or up there, I should say. It's a very, very big deal. Like they have 4 nights of performances.
Really?
Every night is sold out. You have to get tickets in advance. Like you can't just walk up and go watch this.
Really?
It's a big deal. Sometimes they will bring in adults to play the adult roles if there are adult roles.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's a big deal. So when I say that to people, most people are like, well, that's crazy. You're going up there, but it is kind of a big deal.
We're going to see a Broadway show, kind of.
I mean, it's not like that for sure, but it is. I will say this. The first year we went, I was like, why are we?
So you've seen it before.
I've seen 2 of them. And Heather went last year, but I couldn't go. We had the dog and he couldn't travel with her.
Yeah.
But anyway, the first year I went, I was like, this was going to be very boring. It's actually very good. Very good.
Wow.
So it's good.
Where's he going to school?
He's going to school. Oh shit. I think it's called Gordon is the name of the school. It's a small school in Massachusetts. It's really good for that kind of stuff. So he's going there. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, that's what's happening, but it's going to be cool.
Right.
Yep. So, all right, I gotta get out of here. Show number 2 coming up here pretty quick.
Right.
Show number 2 for Racing News Channel. I don't know when it'll be. Sorry. Magic Mike will be at 3 p.m. Central. I do know that. So, all right, guys, that'll do it for this one. We'll see you all next week. Everybody have a good weekend.